So if I had £1 for every time I taught someone that had bought a camera, a DSLR camera with a standard kit lens and didn't have the lens hood, I would be a rich man. Now you need a lens hood, and I'm going to tell you in this video why you need a lens hood, which one you need to buy, and when you use them, and so on. Okay, so let's learn about lens hoods. So why use a lens hood? Well, the answer is a really simple one. It stops stray light coming across the front of your lens and causing what's called lens flare. Now, I am going to demonstrate that to you right now by pointing my camera around into the sun and showing you how the light works with a lens hood and without a lens hood. So I'm actually going to just film through this camera and demonstrate to you. So what I've got on here is a lens with a lens hood. Okay, the sun is right there in front of me. Okay, so we are asking for lens flare here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two films. I'm going to film so that you can see the difference. I've got a lovely boring bush in front of me, and I'm just going to film the boring bush, one with a lens hood on and one without a lens hood on. Okay, so let's do that. So now I'm filming with the lens hood on, and what you'll see with this one is there is contrast in it and there is no lens flare. Okay, so I know it's only a boring bush, but nevertheless it's going to make an example for us. And now I'm going to take the lens hood off and I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Okay, so now the lens hood is off and I'm recording again. The same boring bush in front of me, right? And this time you can see some lens flare on it and it's a lot less contrasty, and that is because the sun is hitting the front element of this lens here, you know, the glass. And when you've got a lens hood on like this, it shadows it, if that makes sense. So it stops the light hitting that front element, and you can see that quite clearly via looking at the front of your lens, and you can see how it is shielding the light from the front of your lens. So there you go. That is with the lens hood off, and the other one there was with the lens hood on. So in its simplest terms, that is what a lens hood does. It blocks light from hitting the front of your lens, which causes lens flare, and it gives you less contrast. So by using the lens hood, you're going to give every image that you take more contrast. All right, another bonus is it protects the front of your lens as well. So if you're swinging your camera around or whatever and that hits a wall, it's the lens hood that's going to break and not the lens. So a lens hood also helps to protect your lens as well. So when should you use a lens hood? Well, arguably all the time. There is an exception, which I'll tell you about a bit later on, but pretty much it doesn't harm to have your lens hood on all the time, whether you're inside, whether you're outside, doing studio work, landscapes, whatever. A lens hood is always going to help you reduce lens flare and give you a bit more contrast in your shot. Now, like I said to you just a second ago, there is an exception to that rule, and it is when you actually want lens flare. So lens flare can look cool in a shot. So if you want lens flare, you either take the lens hood off or you shoot a bit more into the sun, and that will give you lens flare. So that's the only real exception to the rule. If you want lens flare, you can take the lens hood off. If you don't want it, always have a lens hood on. So lens hoods are not one size fits all. So what types of lens hoods can you get? Well, the most common type is like this one here. This is called a petal lens hood. And a petal lens hood has these sections cut out of the corners, if you like, the corners of the lens hood. And these are used for zoom lenses. So lenses that obviously zoom in and zoom out. And that is because if you didn't have these cutout bits in the corners, if you was at wide angles, you would actually see the lens hood and it would create a vignette in your pictures. And then you can get these types of lens hoods, which are called cylindrical lens hoods, and they are like a cylinder. They've not got anything cut out like the petal lens hood has. And these are used on lenses that don't zoom in and out, like prime lenses, and they're also used for telephoto lenses, and they're the lenses that, you know, zoom in really close, wildlife, sports kinds of lenses. And the reason you can use a cylindrical one on them telephoto lenses is because it doesn't have a wide angle. Now here's a question I get asked all the time, especially when someone's bought the wrong lens hood, and that is, which lens hood do you buy for your lens? Now before I tell you that, let me take this opportunity to tell you about the courses that we run over at the schoolofphotography.com. If you want to learn photography properly in a structured way by professional teachers, come over and see us at the schoolofphotography.com. We've got thousands of students all over the world. We've got 5-star rated courses on Google, Trustpilot, Facebook. You know, go and read what other people say about our courses. We can teach you photography properly. So if you want to cut out all that time looking through millions of YouTube videos and learn photography properly, come over and see us at the schoolofphotography.com. So what one should you buy for your lens? Now firstly, do not buy generic lens hoods, okay? Don't go on Amazon and buy the cheap generic lens hood. Now there's people watching this now going, oh Christ, that's what I've already done, okay? Now some of them might do the job, but they don't fit the lens properly and they don't cut the light out properly as it should do, because a lens hood is designed for a specific lens, and all lenses on different camera brands, they're all different, and that means that you need to get that specific lens hood for that specific lens. Now don't worry, what I've done for you is made a list of the popular lens hoods for like Canons and Nikons and Fujis and things like that, like the specific ones that you need to buy. To get that list, there's a link in the description of this video. Just click on that and it will take you to a page and it will show you what lens hood to get for the most common lenses. Another thing that you can do is you can read the model of the lens off the front of your lens. So normally on lenses, around the front rim, it's got the name of the lens. So this one here is a 24-105 Canon EF lens. And if I wanted the lens hood for this specific lens, I just type that into a search engine, and at the end of it, I put lens hood, all right? And then you'll get lots of different shops that will sell you it. Now you can get third-party brands that do copies of, you know, Canon and Nikon lens hoods, etc. But it's very hit and miss, and I can't give you any third-party brands off the top of my head because they come and go like anyone's business. So if you want to be sure, you're probably best to go straight to the Canon version or the Nikon version, Fuji version, whatever, and then at least you know you're getting a decent, good quality lens hood that is made specifically for your lens. So if you've had experience in lens hoods or not using lens hoods and you can share that experience with other people, please put it in the comments below. I'm sure other people would be glad to hear your advice as well. If this video has helped you out, you need to help us out, please. Just hit that like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell button. You know all the stuff, I don't have to tell you, you know what to do. It really does help us out. So if we've helped you, I would really appreciate that you help us back out by doing those things. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to learn photography properly, come over and see us at theschoolofphotography.com.